If you're looking to, by 1500, defeat England and hold the British Isles, potentially have Norway and Sweden as vassals, and be one of the foremost great powers, all whilst blasting Scotland the Brave in the background, then keep watching. Also, I promise the audio quality is about to get better. I'm currently recording this intro in a public bathroom. Before unpausing, you're going to want to rival England and Denmark. Then sort out your estates, including the estate bonus that gives you +1 military power, and focus on military. If you're a confident EU4 player, then you can destroy the fort in Dumfries, though it can be quite useful later, so if you're slightly newer, it's easier just to keep it. Then ally France in order to complete the mission. That'll give you claims on Northern Ireland. Build 4 infantry units, build a spy network in England, and then unpause. If you're lucky, you'll get what I like to call the Holy Trinity, which means that all 3 of Castile, Burgundy, and France will be friendly towards you. In December, break your alliance with France, as they're about to have the surrender of main event, which will drag you into a war against England prematurely, as well as a war that you're going to get nothing out of. And once your troops have been built, declare war on an Irish minor. Ideally, this would be Ulster, though they have a nasty habit of allying Denmark or England. If this is the case, declare on any Irish minor that you have a claim on that isn't allied to either Denmark or England. You can also co-belligerent any of their allies, again, unless they've allied England or Denmark. You're going to want to plan your conquests here. For example, as I knew I was going to have a sea border with Connacht, I built a spy network in them before my war was over, enabling me to go to war straight after I had taken the province of Donegal. You're also going to want to plan to declare on Irish minors who are allied to other nations who have allied Denmark or England, so it can get a little bit complex. But again, for example, this war against Connacht brought in Leinster, who I didn't co-belligerent because they were allied to England, but it enabled me to annex them without calling England in. Then simply rinse and repeat until all possible Irish minors have been annexed. It might be an idea to take a vassal at this point, as they provide troops, but more importantly, serve as a distraction for the English in the upcoming war. Additionally, during these Irish wars, you're going to want to try and conserve your manpower as much as possible, as in 1450, you should be able to take military tech 4. By 1450, you should be done with Ireland. So position your troops to the north of England, hire the Free Company, and declare war on them. Not only should you have a tech advantage over them, due to their 000 heir of Henry VI, they should still be embroiled in that war with France. So with any luck, they've already taken a beating. You can also enable scutage on your vassal, as their capital being sieged will cost you around 20 war score. Though I found, after fully sieging down England, it doesn't matter. Additionally, hiring an advisor can also help give you the edge. You're going to want to push into Northumberland, attacking any English army that comes north. You should be able to easily win these, though do be careful of your manpower, and hire additional mercenaries if necessary. You don't get a second chance at this, so it's worth going into debt for. You need to be wary of Portugal as well, if they are still allied to England, as they have a tendency to land troops, which you need to deal with, especially if you've gotten rid of the fort in Dumfries. The English and Portuguese might be very attracted to the Isles' capital. This is a really good thing for you because you can pull off a little trick with your boats that will mean a guaranteed stack wipe. How this works is you engage them in a battle across the straits, ensure that your navy is nearby in a port, and as soon as you've won the battle, they will attempt to retreat across the strait. At this point, you bring out your navy, meaning the strait counts as blockaded, and you will instantly fight them again. This time, them being on 0 morale, meaning an instant stack wipe. Once sufficient casualties have been dealt, bear in mind that England has been embroiled in a war up until this point, you should go and siege them. Again, hire additional mercenaries if necessary. And try not to split your stacks too much, as if there is any battle, you're going to want to be able to reinforce. After sieging down London, the war should be over. The areas you're going to want to take are the ones that contain Derby, Coventry, and Northumberland, as well as money. You can ignore any coalition that might arise from your conquest against England, as most of Ireland will have been dealt with, leaving potentially only Dutch miners, if that, joining a coalition. Though do make sure to improve relations with France, just in case, as well as set your diplomat to outraged if you're concerned. This might be a little worse if you forget to co-belligerent Irish miners, or are forced to annex them without making them co-belligerent, generating more aggressive expansion. From here, kill any rebels that rise up, call your land, and generally recover. This might take you a little bit longer if you had to hire a second mercenary stack. When you're ready, or if you see an opportunity, such as Denmark is embroiled in a war against Muscovy or Poland, or even the Baltic, declare war on Norway for Orkney. Prior to this war, you should have 2,000 men standing in the province opposite Orkney, as well as men in Ireland if you don't have control over Ulster. Denmark will call its allies in, including any Irish miners. At this point, siege down the Irish miners and fully annex them. I would also advise building 4 or 5 carracks at this point. Whilst they're building, make sure to deal with any invading troops. Once your carracks have built, it would also be a good idea to get the morale of navies advisor and attempt to pick off the navies that surround Britain. Once you've done this, land some men on the Norwegian capital or the Danish mainland and siege down these areas, again being very wary of the armies that are there. This war is made a lot easier if Sweden is rebellious. From this war, you're going to want to take all of the islands off your northern coast, as well as Iceland. Additionally, I would advise taking Agdeziden, again, sorry for the pronunciation, please do correct me in the comments below, as it will be useful for fabricating further claims. You might be able to deal with your rebels by simply raising autonomy. This land is not very rich, so if that's an option, absolutely do that. Then simply wait for your truce to England to expire. England will have had a really rough go of it at this point, probably having peasants rise up, lollards. They'll likely have gone bankrupt as well, which is another incentive to stay in the First War as long as possible. But this war should be really easy for those reasons. You should outnumber them and outgun them, as they'll likely be on Miltech 3 as well, whereas you'll probably be at round 5 at this point. Do be careful of their navy, however. There's really no point engaging it whatsoever. Out of this war, you're going to want to take the York area, Pale and London, which will enable you to complete further missions. Going on from here, you should look for allies on the continent. I found that Bohemia and Lithuania, if they're not under Poland in a personal union, are quite valuable to have in terms of dissuading a coalition. You should also look at taking the age bonus for the transferring of vassals, as you might well be able to steal Norway and Sweden this way. Burgundy, if they haven't lost a war to the French or anyone else, may well have taken Calais at this point. If so, you can rival them and take it for yourself. Make sure you do have Castilla as an ally though. If you're looking to get the Old Alliance achievement, allying both Burgundy and Castile will be very helpful in this endeavour. And between the 3 of you, France shouldn't be an issue, though you might also want to ally Austria just to be sure. In terms of ideas, exploration is a natural choice, and you should be one of the first of the New World. If you like this video, I would urge you to check out my Oirat guide, which will put you in the best possible standing for a world conquest that I'd highly recommend to beginners. And we are looking to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And so whilst I know some of you think it's kind of cringe to beg for subs, I'm begging for subscribers. Please do subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what other nations you'd like me to make guides on in the comments below. I do read every one of them, I promise. Goodbye.
Hello, my children. I must give you a message. Subscribe to the social streamers for eternal salvation.